That's it, mate. Get out of the car. Get out of the car. Come on. Hello. I didn't even know it was legal to drive a police car. All sign written, advertising the police, the billboard for the law. That's what this is, telling you that the police are about, and it even has their number on there so you can contact them. This is a fully working American police car. It is a Dodge Charger. There's the flag, there's the Dodge, there's the police, there's the 301 Charger bit. And it's not just some car that's been done up to look like a police car. This was actually a police car when it lived in America. Normally the first place I go when I'm having a look at a car is in front, but this time I'm going to go in the back instead. So here we go, a nice wipe clean seat with a drain hole in the floor there for whatever may need to be drained away. This is the first time I've ever sat in the back of a police car, and something's just occurred to me that I'm actually sharing space now with former criminals. Ugh, anyone could have been here. I mean, obviously it is white clean. Rear is not designed for comfort. It might be in a normal Dodge Charger, but in this one, this Perspex shield here does actually take away some of the knee room. And look, there's a partition so you can house two criminals at once. And the only way they can pass stuff to each other is through these holes here. And you'd probably notice that if you was a policeman doing your duty. Oh look, there's bars on there as well. Like proper, actual prison bars to stop anyone from, you know, escaping out of the window. You could just isolate the electric window switch. But then again, you know, these bars are only stuck onto the door card. How secure actually is that? I would imagine that a criminal mind might be able to figure out a way of taking that off. Although it is a police car, it is still a car, which means it can be used and driven and enjoyed. Look at the size of that bull bar. That actually is a serious piece of metal there. That's going to break whatever it crashes into. As you can imagine, it's quite a long car, being a Dodge Charger. It's not as long as the original 1960s Dodge Charger from the Dukes of Hazzard, which if anyone's got one of those, I'd certainly be interested in having a look at that. But it's still nearly 17 feet, I think. Over 5 meters, 5.1 meters. That's quite long. It's taking up a bit of space there for sure. It does have quite a few of the old styling cues from the old Charger, especially from the back. When we look at this shoulder just here, a really big shoulder, big hunky manly American shoulder. Big shoulder, fat lip. Big face, fat lip, braces. The wheels are rather impressive size as well. Look at that 225 60R18. They're kind of like off-road wheels really. There's a lamp there for looking at people trying to escape. I'm sure that's had some use. And because this is an American car, it means you have to go into the wrong side, because Americans drive on the other side of the road. Just thought I'd point that out in case you didn't know. The Dodge Charger is probably considered by the Americans as a luxury car, but not this one. It's a police car on the outside, it's a police car in the back, which makes it not a particularly nice... Oh, no, I was going to say it makes it not a nice family car, but actually it would do, because with these wipe down seats there, it means you can clean up all the puke when you go around corners too quickly. Into the driver's side, we can see a big squashed out looking, looks like a Ford seat actually, and a plastic steering wheel, and then a handle there for operating the light, and then a computer. Yeah, an actual computer and radios and stuff like that. It's got all of the buttons. Yeah, I wonder if they work. Who can you talk to? Oh, yes, it does work. Yes. There's not really much room to actually get to these instruments just here, but on this occasion I'm not overly bothered. There we have a speed gun as well. It wouldn't really be of much use in this country because it'll be imperial speeds, won't it? Yeah, imperial miles per hour rather than metric miles per hour. I wonder if the computer works. as far as actual luxury is concerned, it's not really got any, because it is an American car, and of course Americans don't understand luxury, they just understand things being bigger. So the quality of the materials isn't what you would call great. And in actual fact, it doesn't feel that big inside. Well, it won't do, will it, with that big perspex screen there? That's going to take away some of the spacious feel. I mean, it would be nice and wide, but with all this gear in the way as well, there's not really a great deal of room for your passenger. As this is American, it means that the boot is very important. There we go, there's the boot. There is the gangster's luxury transport area. All cars come with a gangster compartment, and this one has a sizable boot. Because it's a really big car, you'd expect it to have a massive boot, wouldn't you? Well, at the moment it is a bit full of wheel, and I reckon I could climb in there, but I'm not going to, because I don't want to get that wheel out. But here's what a stupid noise. It wouldn't really work for gangsters anyway, because look, you put your criminal in the back of there, or your gangster, and he can just escape. It'd be best off in the back seat. 460 litres of boot space. That is 10 less than in my Rover 45. We're currently trying to get the bonnet open, and we've done it. Wow. Oh, let's not leave that there. Now the luxurious American style catch has given up and let us open the bonnet, we can see the 5.7 V8 Hemi block. 5.7, not 2.7, not 3.7 or 4, it is 5.7 litre. That makes that a proper V8 lump of an engine with 368 brake horsepower. 368 brake horsepower sounds like loads and loads and loads, but then again, this car might just weigh the same as the moon, so maybe it won't go that quickly. Where are the indicators? There we are. Smooth feeling, very quiet as well. It's very quiet car. In fact, if I didn't know it was in something so American, I wouldn't realise it just at the moment. I found where the indicator is. Normally you're supposed to find these things out before you start, but I figured it out. It wasn't that difficult. It was actually quite easy. It was where you'd expect it to be. The steering works, which is good. It doesn't feel like a Rover 45 steering, so it's not quite as nimble feeling. And I'd imagine it's going to be a bit of a handful once, you know, if it's in the wet. But it's not wet, and I'm glad it isn't, because I don't really fancy driving a car that's a bit of a handful. But it does actually feel it does feel a lot bigger than I was expecting to drive. But on the plus side, when you're passing parked cars, you can certainly tell where they are a bit easier. I am quite aware of everybody looking at me, but I'm used to that because I drive a Nigel car. Now then, can I put my foot down ever so slightly in a minute?
Do what you want, as long as you don't spin it.
No, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do it in the roundabout, because that might just be a silly idea. Put my foot down a little bit here. Now that's when you do hear it. It sounded rather quiet actually when it was just blipping the throttle there, but driving along it just sounds like a normal car, and then suddenly it just lurches forward and has a go at you. It's like you're picking a fight on it and you're going to lose. That's how you drive it normally, to just pick up a reasonable amount of speed. The trouble is, it's all roundabouts everywhere, isn't it? And roundabouts in American cars is probably a recipe for disaster with extra black pepper. The visibility is not fantastic, come to think of it, because of all these bits of bars everywhere, helping to restrain the criminal friend. If your friends are criminals, this car would really suit you. And by the way, it is for sale. It does have a rather satisfying lurch to it. The brakes don't really feel like they're as good as they should be for something with that kind of thump, actually. It could do with being a bit sharper.
Correct.
So it does actually feel quite nippy, which is surprising, because I thought it was going to feel a bit like a slug. It's quite an easy car to drive, I'll say that. But then it would be because it's an automatic. Apparently the suspension is uprated. It does feel very stiff, actually. It does feel like quite a stiff car that if I was brave enough or maybe stupid enough, I'd sling it around some corners. But I'm not going to do that. As you would expect, a car with an engine like this is going to glug and glug loads and loads of fuel. I reckon, in fact I've read, it'll do about 17 miles per gallon, but I'd be surprised if you get that out of it. Not around town anyway. Well, one thing I'm noticing actually, because of being on the other side of the road, I am kind of driving ever so slightly incorrectly. I've got the urge to keep moving over. I've got the urge to sort of more drive down the middle of the lane rather than at the side of the lane, which we'll probably get some getting used to. Especially in a car that's as wide as this, you're already taking up the same kind of space as what you would do in a large van.
Hello, this is Captain Mustard of the American Police Brigade, and I'm searching for you for the stash of rabbits. Hey! Stop filming me! What do you think you're doing? You can't just film it, this is a stuff you car. That's ridiculous! Thank you, and goodbye.
Now,
I think I have that one. But you've got different settings.
Changing the, is it? It's like that.
Christmas!
Oh, yeah.
In case you're interested, this car is actually for sale as well. I don't know how much for, but it's not going to be that cheap. So you can, if you really want to do, contact me and I'll pass on the details. The Dodge Migraine Edition.